Hey everyone, in this video, a lady messaged me whose horse was becoming very dangerous trailer loading. It had actually drug her, trampled over her, and she needs my help, so we're gonna go see if we can help her get her horse getting more comfortable with the trailer.
He sees me with the trailer and he will not allow me to catch him. He will like literally run. He's been in this trailer before. The last times that I've tried was where I got hurt. What happens essentially is he'll, once again, part of the way on the trailer, he will rear back and he spins like a quarter horse on a dime. He'll pull me off my feet, and if I don't let go, I'll get dragged. It's happened like 3 times where I've gotten pretty hurt. I kind of am losing faith, and I have this horse and I have a trailer and I can't go to shows or trail ride.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna expose him a little bit more to the stick and string and move it around him. And I also would like him to, you were telling me about he can kind of throw his body around a little bit if he gets upset. And he's not trying to be aggressive, but he's a lot bigger than we are. We'll get run over.
Right.
And so I want to also do a little bit of body control stuff. And what's kind of ideal is if I find some things that are a bit challenging for him when I play with him here, I can then just walk over to the trailer and stand there and release him to the trailer. So I just want to get a little feel for him here.
Of course.
And so here he's bothered by me moving the stick and string, and so his thought was at first to leave. And I just bumped the halter when he thought over there, and then I bumped it when he thought over there. And then he took a step towards me in a reasonably quiet mindset, so then I got quiet. I'm trying to bother him a little bit. You are, to me, trying to not bother him. I'm trying to just bother him enough that he's bothered so that when he tries to be unbothered, he gets relief. And so in my attempt to build his depth of understanding, I'm gonna like go towards him a little bit here. That kind of signs him up to needing to step out of my space a little bit. Because one of the things that you did talk about was he can get crowding, you know, our space
when he's
if he gets upset. And so you see, I'm doing a hindquarter yield there, but he's stepping away from me. I'm stepping into him, asking him to give me a little bit of ground. And this is not about the trailer at all, but we just so happen to be by the trailer. Hey, if you guys would like to see more of the training sequence that we do, you can check that out on my Patreon page, as well as ask me specific questions about your horse or even submit videos for coaching. We post a new video on there every week, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it, so go check it out. We'll leave a link in the description below. Let's get back to the video. And then you hear the blowout. So that blowout and him relaxing there, I'll give him relief for trying. So that was him trying to relax. First goal is him being more understanding pressure and him learning how to recover. So I'm trying to give him recovery strategies, which means when he tries to get more confident and more relaxed, I'm gonna quit doing what I'm doing, no matter what I'm doing. We weren't by the trailer, but he was trying to understand what's going on. I backed off. That's the overall arching theme. Underneath that happens to be trailer loading. And I like that I feel like he's giving me a little more space now. His movements are also a little bit softer. And then now I'll just happen to drift over to the trailer. I love that he got curious about it, because he could be trying to move sideways, he could be trying to back up, he could be doing things, but he put his head by it and he had a lick and chew. Now he's looking away, which tells me he's not getting relief here anymore. So now I'm gonna go, oh, you wanna go over look over here, let's go explore what's over there. But it just so happens that there's more pressure over here, but it's the pressure that I'm putting on him of constantly asking him for something, of me being noisy. I'm waving my stick at him, I'm pushing him around, I'm asking him for a lot of different things. That's the pressure that went away when we went by the trailer. Because we need him to, at the end of the day, to understand the trailer is where the relief is. And then you say, well, relief from what? It's relief from me asking him for things. Now here, he didn't try or make any effort to it. And so I'm gonna put pressure over here, but you can see this is not about the trailer. I was saying that he's on a little hot lava just standing over there. So it's not just lead him up here and do nothing. There's some underlying methods to it, which is he has to be in a position, in a mental state where he is thinking towards the trailer. So he can't come and stand over here. There's another level to what I'm doing here. which is that I always do my best to work with a horse where they're at.
Right, okay.
And what that means is where he's at is he sees the trailer and he starts getting bothered.
Yep,
And you
exactly,
notice that by
yep.
him being harder to catch when you pull the trailer out. I noticed it by when we were walking down here and he saw the trailer, he started getting more difficult to lead. And so before I start doing any sort of asking him to go in the trailer, I would like him to be pretty sure that the trailer is the relief. So we'll just do this, create a pattern here of a few times, just letting him get relief at the trailer. Now, here's the other interesting part. He walked up to there and that's where he decided to stop.
Yep.
And my friend Jake has a great way of explaining it, and he would call this the try line. So this is all the further, this is where he's comfortable trying. So it's my job as his coach to ask him for more. But more doesn't mean all the way in the trailer, all 4 feet in. Human nature says, well, if he didn't go all 4 feet in the trailer, did you really trailer load that day? Did you really get any better? But what you and I can understand today, that is if this line moves from here to here, he tried. And so I'm going to measure progress in as small of tiny little measurements as we need to, and we can approach and retreat and build this line, eventually all the way in.
All right.
But if I have my expectation as here, you can see how that would go really south really quick. If I said, well, the only way you tried is if you got all the way in, right? That would be a lot. That would be way too much, okay? I would blow him up, expecting that. So my expectation is that he tries to come past here. Now, there's a catch. I'm not allowed to ask a trying horse to try. So if I want to progress this line, the first thing I need to do is back him away from the line so that I'm guaranteed a step forward first. So now I'm going to ask and see if he gives me any more. And look how much further we came past the line. But if I had asked him from right there, he'd already told me, I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable there. And I said, okay, well, let's retreat a little bit, and then I'll ask you again. And sure enough, we got past our line by a ways. This is what's interesting or kind of fascinating to me really about horsemanship is we're asking him to do a lot of things that are unnatural to him. But I'm asking you to do what's unnatural to you, because what's unnatural to a human is like, well, just pull him in the trailer. Just put pressure on him in the trailer. Just by me taking that little step of retreating and then asking him is me applying horsemanship to this project. For now, I'm going to continue. I'm going to ask him once or twice, and then I'm going to retreat and help him explore what's over here again, which just so happens to be some more work. So in a perfect world, what will happen today is the most pressure I put on him is away from the trailer, not by the trailer. At the trailer, hopefully, is just a conversation between me and him about him trying to understand it. Whether it's you asking a horse to circle around the rail to the left, riding them, or walking over something scary on a trail, that's a trap to them. And so what we need to learn to do is find ways to release them to our idea and show them that whatever it is we want them to do is where the relief is. That could be standing still by the mounting block to be mounted, going left around the rail. And what I'm out to kind of prove is that if you can show a horse where the relief is and not try to just make them do your idea, they will turn loose to it much quicker with a lot more comfort than if we try to just make them do what we want. Okay. It's easier said than it is done. It does take, practice and some thinking behind it. But I always tell people we're playing chess with horses, not checkers or tic-tac-toe. And also ideally when we retreat, I'm going to ask him to back away with the halter. This is in preparation for eventually unloading them, where I only want him to back off if he feels that the halter there. So in other words, I don't want to back him up with like energy like this. I would rather him unload with steady pressure. See there, he backed off on his own. The little secret is he chose to back off, and so the more I try to pull on him and say, no, you can't back off, stay in here, the more I'm convincing him this is the trap the predator is laying for him. But when I agree with him and I go, let me help you back up. We don't need to be over there, we can be back here. But what he didn't know is that over here is pressure. We kept backing. So you don't crowd through me here. So you kind of thought about, well, I'll just avoid the trailer there and just crowd through you. Again, he wants to back off and give himself relief. Totally cool. I can be picky with him over here. This is where all the pressure actually is. And then we'll just release him with a forward thought towards the trailer. He stayed on a little longer. Can we do a little hindquarter yield while you back up? Could you put your head down while we back up? Keep backing, hey. Did you see it? So like there, he stopped. I love that when I feel that. Because when he stopped there, that's when I know he's starting to learn that he's like, I don't want to back up anymore. I didn't tell him don't back up. He chose the idea that I don't want to keep backing. And that's when you know you really kind of got him. So it's like, in this instance, patience is just about me doing this pattern and building his confidence. See how he's starting to wear that a little bit? I kind of like that. He's not reactive to the stick. So just by me asking him for more yields out here, he's getting more comfortable. He's getting more relaxed. But like there, he backed out and then he got curious about the trailer. That would be a terrible time for me to be like, and keep backing. Ryan said back, once he starts backing, back him out. He was investigating the very thing that we've deemed is the relief. Anything he does that is trying to connect to the trailer, I should leave him alone. But just because he's standing here doesn't mean he's getting relief. So like right now, he's looking over there.
Yeah.
I don't need to let him stand here now. And that's where a lot of people, they don't read the horse. They just, humans like want a list. And we go, we do this, and then we do this, and then we do this. Ryan said this, this, this. And it's not that simple. We have to read them. And that's where the horsemanship and the horse psychology and reading animal behavior is critical to this working or not working.
So if he keeps like going out, and at a certain point where he does it so many times.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, do you see how we keep moving the try line? So now here's where it gets interesting. That was the biggest try he's given me. And from what you said, so him winning out to the other horses is telling me he checked out right there. So I'm going to put a little pressure on that thought and ask him to check back in.
All right.
And the timing is interesting. We just had the best try, and then we had our first moment of him checking out.
Uh-huh.
This could be a spot to quit.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So these are the tough decisions that we make, because depending on the level of hurt, like if we had to, you were stuck somewhere and you had to get him in the trailer to go home, like you had to go, well then you keep going. Like that's what you got to do. And I have no doubt we'd eventually have him go in.
Okay.
But it might escalate a situation in there, in between where we're at and him going all the way in, where it becomes a lot for him. I prefer to set up good training moments and pepper things in. I'm going to leave it to your judgment.
Okay.
Do you want to leave? Are you happy with that and you want to leave him there today, or do you want to keep going and see where we can get? If he was at my house and I was going to work with him again tomorrow, I would definitely quit there. Like 100%, I would quit there, because he was. If I said the overarching theme is to build his try, he was trying pretty hard there, getting 3/4 of the way in, and then I would just come out and do it again tomorrow. So a lot of times people only see success as the horse is all the way in the trailer. That would be a human way of thinking about it. But the reality is this horse is making progress from where he was at, of being spooked just by the trailer showing up around the driveway, to actually getting 3/4 of the way in the trailer. So this is progress. And it's really important that I leave this horse in a good frame of mind so that Kelly can continue to have success after I'm gone. We need to let the horse set the timeline. So what I think we should do now is have you take a hold of him.
Hi,
okay.
It's me again.
Good. Now, our try line is up there, so you can go ahead and lift your stick and ask him to try. And he should get a forward response. Does that make sense?
Yep.
That wouldn't be true if right now he's kind of right by the try line, so you wouldn't want to ask now. Okay. If he was this far in the first time, I wouldn't have had you do that. That's really important for you to understand about this. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, it's a try.
There's another big try. So there's a moment where we can leave him alone. Look at this.
Yeah.
So we'll quit him there.
Yep, got it.
So you can see where, do you see how it wouldn't really be very fair of me to just keep going. Like, so many people that do what I do for the thumbnail or for the video here, they would just keep pushing him until he was all the way in. And I could get him all the way in, like give me like 5 or more minutes, I could have him all the way in. But he would be worse for you tomorrow.
He's not going to be as calm
If
and
we,
happy about it.
exactly, if we quit here,
He's not going to be as calm and happy
tomorrow,
about it.
because we're still leaving him with a positive taste.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay,
right.
awesome.
Cool, well thank you for having us
got
out and
yourself
working
a
with
new
your horse. And if you guys haven't already, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you on the next one.